Actually was after I got married. I was really a child, I think. So I was born and brought up in Amritsar. That is a city which has Golden Temple. That's what a lot of people will resonate with. What's interesting is that my parents actually had no expectations from me, which is also kind of liberating. And the only way for me to maybe do anything with myself was by getting out of the city. So I tell this to my husband till date, he was actually my ticket to freedom. Interestingly, I got married at 22, and my only condition was that I want to get married to someone who let me do what I want to. And that's what happened. I moved to Bangalore after getting married. My first stint was with a company called Auckland, which is also called Autosource today. Worked with them for a couple of years, and then my husband had an assignment to work from Melbourne. And in parallel, I was pregnant. So interestingly, I took a break. So since we are here talking about work-life balance, that was my first break. And I would rather say that, like when life needs attention, you need to give it attention. And believe me, when I took that break, I really didn't know what I'm going to do next. It was all about, let's just see what happens next. And after my daughter, we were back in Bangalore, and what I did was, I'm someone who can't really sit idle. So I started baking. So I was one of those home bakers. Today, you see a lot of people selling things online. There was no online back then. Interestingly, Truecaller had me saved as Swati Desserts because I used to make desserts and cakes and sell. So I did that for a year. iGet called me one day and they were like, hey, we're looking for women, who work from home. We have a few assignments, and I was too eager to, work from home back then wasn't even heard of. I was like, why not, let's try. Anyways, I'm sitting at home. I picked it up. This was to sell staffing solutions on behalf of iGate to some of these companies in the US. Did that project for 3 months. I was done with it. Then they're like, why don't you do recruiting? I was from finance background and I was like, I'm not going to do recruiting. I don't know. Tech recruiting, that too. And they were like, we'll train you. I said, okay, let's try it out. That was the beginning of my recruiting journey. Started with recruiting in the US. 2008 or 9 is when recession hit. MyGate wouldn't have anyways kept me because a lot of jobs were going away. I picked up a local consulting firm called Life Connections because they again, gave me an opportunity to work from home. And that was also because I wanted to pursue recruiting as a career. The best way would have been to move to domestic market. Started working with them, but then again, my daughter started school. She had asthma, took a break again. So 2 breaks. After that, when I again started looking for a job, it wasn't really easy to get another opportunity. So where I get my drive is actually this, it's not really easy for you, especially for women. When they take breaks, it's not very easy for them to get back to work. My corporate break was HP. HP is where I really learned how you work in a corporate setup, your orientation on metrics. Luckily, I got to manage a team as well. I ended up managing a team of around 30 plus people while I was at HP. And then Meg came in, started breaking HP. I was looking for a role which was more business facing, joined Exchanging. Today, both HP and Exchanging are one though. That was a fantastic opportunity because I got to work very closely with the CEO, and I ended up with Exchanging, starting as a recruiter to managing a pan-India recruiting team, which was again a size of around, I think, 25, 30 odd people. I wanted to join a startup in 2015, and I had no idea why, but coming from HP to a mid-sized company, it just made sense. I saw a lot of ownership that was passed on to me from, a very, really large organization to a mid-sized. I had an offer to join like one of those really, really promising startups today. Serendipity had it. I met someone from Axel. I met Narayan from Axel, and that was it. Axel was a life-changing opportunity again. Joined Axel. Fast forward today, last 10 years, I've spent with 2 VCs. In between, I also ran my own venture. I think I've probably touched close to 500 plus startups, and including some of the very, very prolific ones. I worked closely with Swiggy when they were really, really young, Browser Stack, Freshworks, Urban Company, to name a few. The last few years, it's been like Whatfigs, Atlan, SaaS Labs, and a bunch of others. Why now Cloudflare? Cloudflare, again, opportunity just came along. I have never really worked with a global setup where I've built a team for them from scratch. This is an opportunity which provides me that learning of building a team from scratch, and that's how I'm here. So that's a lot about like what I've done from my childhood. Actually was after I got married. I was really a child. I think